there. Thank you. And now our main course will be served by the excellent team here at the Hyatt Regency before we resume our program. Please keep the aisles clear for our servers. Thank you. Emilio Estefan arrived in the United States from Cuba as a teenager in the 60s, and he made it his business to help others succeed ever since. Emilio has been instrumental in shaping, developing, and directing the careers of his superstar wife, Gloria, as well as Shakira, Ricky Martin, Mark Anthony, Jennifer Lopez, and many more. His resume includes 30 Grammy nominations, 19 Grammy Awards, and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Emilio has embraced public service as well. Appointed by President George W. Bush to the Kennedy Center Board of Directors and by President Obama to the commission that will create the first National Museum of the American Latino. This year, Emilio now adds the title of best-selling authors to his long list of credits with the release of The Rhythm of Success, How an Immigrant Produced His Own American Dream. Please welcome Emilio Estefan for remarks.
Thank you very much. What a big day, what a big week to have this lunch for the moments that we live. But before I start, I want to thank Bush and Gardens to sponsor this event and AT&T, because otherwise he's going to kill me. He told me like 15 times, but you should not, they pay for lunch. And Freddie, thank you so much for buying all the books. You're broke now. I appreciate that. I'm not really a good speaker. I mean, I'm just a producer that makes music, and when I talk from my heart. And I feel that this is so important. You've been doing this for so many years, because I feel that a leadership is something that we needed for so many years, to people to know that we are together, and we're going to lead definitely a fight. And somebody asked me, what is a leader? I remember when President Obama came to my house, was a lot of people thinking, why you bring his Democrat and Republican, say that. I said, to me, what's important, I'm not a Democrat Republican. I'm just a Latino that like to talk to any president that comes to the White House to mention how important we are in the United States, what a contribution we made to this country. And I think that was important for me. Even I produced so many events in the White House, all the way from Argentina, Spain, Mexico, Puerto Rico, and everything. I felt proud. Every moment I was there, I was proud that I was listening to Latin music in the White House. And it was important for me. I was 11 years old when I came. I listened to my mom and my dad talking in Cuba. And I heard they say, we're going to be stuck in a communist country. And I made a decision to leave Cuba. I told my mom, I want to leave. And she said, if you leave, maybe I'm never going to see you again. So I became a man when I was 11 years old. It made me definitely grow up in an incredible way. Including, when I hugged my mom, she said, I'm not doing this for me, I'm doing this for you. You have to live to a free country. And definitely, I made the right choice. Why I made the right choice, I remember when I got to Spain, I hugged my mom, I left to Spain. I was crying the plane going all the way from Havana to Spain. And I remember when I got there, I held my dad. My dad came with me. And I told my dad, I don't know if I made the right decision. Maybe we'll never see our family again. But I knew it was the last chance to get my family out of Cuba. And I remember it was the first time that I felt cold, because, in Cuba was, of course, tropic, was always like a hot climax. And I felt that I was crying. And what I remember 45 years later, I came from Prague in a private plane with Gloria, my daughter, And I start walking in a corridor, and I tell Gloria, I need to stop for a minute. I say, why? I said, this is the same hall that I worked with my dad 45 years ago. When I walked out, it was an incredible emotion, and when I saw that I was leaving and I accomplished one of my dreams, I saw my daughter smiling. I knew I made the right decision coming to the United States. I feel Latinos make such a contribution to this country that we should be so proud, so proud. Even though what is happening in Arizona, we don't have to be afraid. We need to be ashamed. I still, when I'm in a hotel and somebody knock on the door, I'm going to leave in 45 minutes, and they tell me, I don't speak Spanish. I speaking English with you now. What are you talking about? And I feel because you have an accent, or you have a last name that is Latino, you shouldn't be afraid, and you should be proud, very proud, because we definitely make a great contribution to this country, including, who could have said that Jose Hernandez was an astronaut, that, played my music in the space, en mi tierra. If they could have said that 25 years ago, I said, don't put a Latino driving a rocket, maybe he landed in another place. And who could have said we have Bob Menendez, who he's in the Senate defending us every single day, the Latino voice. Or who could have said we have Rosie Rios signing the $100 bills now. And that makes us very proud. What I'm saying to you, even AT&T with the chairman is De La Vega, and you have McDonald's, it's head by a Cuban guy, and you have ARP, and like so many companies, the chairmen on all these companies are Latinos, and it's a moment of pride. And I feel, something that we need to tell that to the world. I think with this, what happened in Arizona definitely is protecting Latinos in a different way. Why? Because everything you see is related to being criminals, and we do a lot of we don't made a contribution to this country, and I feel that's totally wrong. I think we have to expose what we accomplished. We have to realize we live in the best country in the whole world, and I think it's a time to show the world what we accomplished. I think what happens in Arizona definitely pushed the wrong button, because for many years I've been talking to everybody, explaining people, it's no difference between Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Colombians, and Cubans. We're all the same. We're a big family. Going to Dreams, I remember the first time I saw the Grammy telecast in my house. I said, oh my God, I hope one day I can be able to attend to the Grammy ceremony. And then afterwards, maybe 3 years later, I was sitting in the first row nominated for a Grammy. And then many years I've been there in the ceremony, and I said, my God, definitely your dreams can come true. So many things happen in my life that I have to be blessed. And it's important to fight what we accomplish. It's important to have the pride to be Latinos. That kid that came to this country looking for the freedom, I accomplished that. I never came looking for any opportunities, but we come to work, and we definitely come to work, and a lot of us accomplished that. I want to thank you so much for coming to this incredible lunch, and be sure companies like Budweiser and AT&T keep doing this, because we need you guys to be sure that we can promote our culture. And it's a moment of pride. It's a moment that who could have said that kid that was a refugee got the President of the United States in my house, or could have this incredible award today. I think my mom and my dad could be very proud. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Just stay right here with me. We've been joined by Senator Bob Menendez. Please welcome Senator Menendez. Thank you. We're going to depart a bit from our normal sequence of the Latino Leaders Luncheon series, because Emilio has been kind enough to agree to respond to some of your questions. So we're going to have a brief Q&A. Then we're going to receive a tribute to Emilio from Senator Menendez, and then we'll present our Nambe Eagle Leadership Award. Now we have, I believe, 3 standing mics. What we'd like to do is this. If you have a question that you would like to direct to Emilio, please go to a microphone, identify yourself. Please be courteous to everyone in the room. Keep the questions brief.
You know something, before we do this, I will do this because a lot of people ask me questions about music and all the things that, about, selling Cuban food in Disney World and doing it, and they want to know. So, but before I do this, I would like to take a picture, you don't mind, and bring these two kids that came from Miami. And you are really leaders to make that decision to come to Washington, to show the world that, that you have to do that. And I promise you that I'm going to see the president tomorrow. I'm going to give you a letter. I promise you. But do you mind coming and taking a picture with me? Come on, come and take a picture with me now. There you go.
Gracias, Emilio. Gracias. Gracias. Thank you so much.
Guys, do either of you have a question? Would you like to ask a question?
You have a question for me? Come on, ask me a question.
Okay, our first question for Emilio.
Hello, everybody. I'm Felipe Matos. But I was thinking, I'm from Miami too, and I love Miami. Both of us grew up over there. Is there a specific memory about Miami that carries on in your music and something that changed your life?
It changed my mind because when I told that one of the things that they told me, my music will never work. And I said, I'm Cuban American. I'm never going to forget when I came from. But I grew up in the States. I want to mix both sounds. And they said, you have to change your name. You have to change your sound. I said, I will never do that. If I become successful, it has to be with the sound that I believe. And I will always want to be proud when I came from. So I'm pleased that I did that.
Thank you. Another question, Jose Hernandez, our astronaut here. Jose.
Actually, it's not a question. It's more of a statement and a clarification of what Emilio alluded to. When we're on a mission, we get to pick our wake-up songs. And the song that I selected to wake up our crew was the Gloria Estefan, Mi Tierra, because it brought a special meaning to me. If you listen to the words, you can see from my perspective what the meaning was. But as a tribute as to how great y qué buena y sencilla gente que son, that same evening before I went to bed, I received an email from Gloria Estefan personally thanking me for playing that song. So, muchísimas gracias.
Thank you. You make us very proud. But I'm going to tell you, Gloria played in the Olympics and Super Bowls, and let me tell you, my mother-in-law said, man, your music was played on space, so you made us famous with my mother-in-law, I can tell you that.
Is there another question? Yes, Janet Murguia.
In your book, you talk about the importance of family. Everybody always wants to know a little bit about your roots. Tell us about your parents or how they inspired you.
You know something? My mom was the person that told me, do it right, do it for your conscience and for God, and do what you believe. Because whatever you do right and you believe in yourself, you can do it. And I'm proud that my mom, in this moment, sometimes when this happens, sometimes I wish my mom would be alive because he could be proud. He told me, don't get into problems, just get to work and do what you have to do. So we were lucky that, to have, I was so blessed to have a mother and father like my dad and my mom and my mom, especially my dad, won the lottery 27 times. And he says, I want to die with a pair of shoes and a suit. And he died with a pair of shoes and a suit because he gave everything away to poor people. So I learned a lot from him. He was a great role model.
Okay, then we have a question, Rafael.
Emilio, hi. Is this working? Hi, Emilio.
Hi.
De felicidades de nuevo.
Muchas gracias.
Question for you. With the immigration issue being, front and center in the minds of everybody, I was wondering if there might be a possibility for you and some of your other artists to lead an opportunity to raise funds in order for us to attack this Arizona immigration bill, that it's going to cost a lot of money in legal fees for us to battle that. But not only just for that, because there's going to be a lot of copycats. If there might be an opportunity to do a song, that can help raise funds for the cause.
I think it will be great, but beside the song, we need to show what we've done as Latinos in this country, how much we love this country, how much we contribute to this country. And you guys, there's a lot of you guys leaders, please, keep doing what you're doing. I mean, but I think beside the song, we need to fight. This is an incredible moment for us, and we want to fight for that. I created some commercials with Freddie for Democracia that is in a positive way, recognizing the American dream, that they're going to be running all over, all the channels. And I think, which a soldier is willing to die for this country. And he said at the end, I'm willing to die for this country, God bless America. I'm from Colombia, the guy's from Colombia. My contribution, a doctor, and I think this commercial is going to be fantastic.
Thank you, Emilio. And next, Carlos Cortez. Carlos.
Emilio, hello.
Hello.
My family, Christina and my wife, Evelyn, we've been following your career for many years. And,
Many years.
Yes, I would say many years. We are very proud of what you have accomplished.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And my question is, what do you think is the main ingredient that we need the Hispanic to succeed in this land?
You know something, the main thing is leadership. We need leadership. I think the first generation, we still have accents and we still have handicaps because, we didn't have money to go to school and learn about things that was important to discuss with the president and with other people. We can talk from our heart, but, we got limitations because, we was very poor. We had to do 3 jobs in order to support our family and get our family even out of Cuba. But the second generation now is kids that has been learning. We have lawyers. We have a great window for them. They know the Constitution, and they'll be able to go and fight for us. And I think everything, I was talking to Santana 2 days ago, and I talked to Feliciano. I said, it was so unbelievable when we started because nobody wanted to even hear about us. I said, Latino music has to fight, and we fight. We fought for that. And I feel the second generation now, we need to have great leaders that feel proud. The main thing is to feel proud where you come from without being ashamed, and at the same time appreciating that we live the American dream and we live in the best country in the whole world.
Okay, Frankie, I see you at the microphone.
I want to take this opportunity, Emilio, to say that although we've never worked directly, we have a lot of people in common. And not only that, you definitely are the godfather of music in the sense where me personally, growing up, Gloria, John Secada, looking to see who the man behind the artist was and knowing who you were and knowing that music saved my life. A lot of Latinos, we grow up in urban areas, we grow up in the inner city, and a lot of times we take refuge in sports, we take refuge in music, and through Emilio's work, through his foundation, through the artists that he's worked with, all those Grammys were one of those things that I looked at as a positive influence as to a way to make it, to get out. And you definitely did show me personally the rhythm of success, and I just want to thank you for that.
Well, thank you very much. Let me tell you, you make us proud too. You have a wonderful career. You didn't need me, but maybe I can do an album for you. You never know.
Okay, 2 final questions, okay? Yes.
You alluded to the fact that people in this room who come to DC to sort of demonstrate leadership, and a lot of us are in the political sphere. But I think that through your example and countless others, people across communities across the country, we're seeing leadership in different levels. But I think you also show leadership in another industry we haven't traditionally thought of outside of the DC circle, and that's in art and culture. So I was wondering if you would speak a little bit of what is it that we can do? These organizations here representing, we typically think politics, social services. What can we do to engage people like you, and I know that there are scores of others in art and culture? What is it that we can do together? And I know this builds a little bit on what Rafael was talking about, because I think this is such an exciting time, and that the whole field of cultural diplomacy is one that can be done a little less intimidating if we just highlight the positive things about us. So.
Sometimes when you're a musician or you're a sport guy, they don't come out and support that because they're afraid they're going to lose their sponsorship or they're going to lose fans. We cannot be afraid to do that. I can tell you, when I went to March with Gloria on Saturday, I felt one of the proudest moments in my life because I felt when I saw all the Mexican people thanking Gloria, I said, you don't have to thank us. I mean, we was immigrants, we was refugees when we came to this country. We know what the whole thing was all about, and to save money just to to get to eat or to pay rent. We know how hard it was. The good thing about me and Gloria, that we have no political agenda. We're never going to be into politics. We're never going to go back to Cuba to live. This is our country. And I feel when you have no agenda, you can say a lot of things. We got the pleasure to discuss that with the King of Spain, with the Mr. Mandela in Africa, with the Queen of England, with among us, so many important leaders with 6 different presidents. And 10 minutes with the president can make a big difference. But I feel, something that I hope some of the sport people that makes a lot of money in this country come out now and support the immigration and support all these people that is in need now, and a lot of musicians, because in the march I was surprised. We didn't have one sport person, and the only singer was there was Gloria. Nobody else came. So it's important that it's not easy. When you have to get a plane, don't sleep, go and work with almost 250,000 people. But I think it's important to them to support them now because they need voices. I was glad that Gloria went and she wanted to go because when you get Gloria Estefan in front of the camera, it becomes a face that is recognized in the Latino world, but recognized worldwide. And we have so many hits from BBC and Germany and Holland and CNN, CNBC, Entertainment Tonight Extra that, made the whole march one step further. So I hope that a lot of, especially baseball players, that they are so popular, they come out because, they make a lot of money and, and they're Latinos. But I feel, like you say, most of you guys have no agenda. And you do it because you love your community and you love to be in Latino. So we have to fight, but my main message is one thing I'm going to leave this today in this place is my appreciation for everything that you've done for me in this lunch and what you've done for so many years. But to be sure, as a reuniting Latinos without one flag, that's what it's going to make the difference. We are strong. We're politically strong and economically strong. And that's the message we have to send to the President of the United States.
Okay, a final question for Emilio, please.
Hi, my name is Laconcia. I'm currently going to Gisborne Middle School. I actually did a project all for your wife, Gloria Estefan, sorry. And I want to know, it caught me off guard when you told me how you was really young, growing up, doing labor. I don't know how challenging was it to be really young and take care of your family. How challenging was it?
I don't think being young was a problem. The problem is when we came with our music and we live in Miami. It was signs outside the door that said no pets, no blacks, no Cubans. So that's true. I remember that. And we have to fight. Imagine you fighting that. Imagine you have to fight with the sound. That is, you have congas and timbales and the horns. I remember the guy when I went to Sony. I showed conga. They almost threw me out of the building. He said, "This will never work." I said, "Well, that's why we have to put it out." And 10 years later, I was the president of the company, Sony. I was 14 years the president of Sony. I was able to work and convince Sony to release from Celia Cruz, that she told me she was very, very old. I said, she's an old lady, she's not going to sell. And she died having #1 in every single decade of her life. And that's probably one of my private moments. What I want to say with that, age is not you don't have to be afraid of age. What you have to be afraid is to believe in yourself and to do something that you love. And nobody tells you that things cannot happen. When you believe in yourself, you live in a great country that I think dreams come true. So fight for it.
Thank you. Now I'd like Emilio to stay on stage with me. We have, as I say, been joined by Senator Menendez. We're delighted you're with us, Senator, and we'd like to ask Bob now to deliver a tribute to Emilio Estefan, and then we will present him with our Nambe Eagle Leadership Award. Senator, please welcome Senator Menendez.
Thank you, Mickey. Good afternoon. And Mickey, I need to give you a new photo. I look better now than even in that photo. That was younger, but in any event. I want to do 3 things leading up to honoring my friend Emilio Estefan. And I think they're all in sync and confluence with each other. Number one, I want to appreciate what Mickey Ibarra has done now for several years, bringing our entire leadership in our community, broadly defined, together at several times during the course of the year in these Latino leadership luncheons so that we not only understand the breadth and scope of who we are and what we mean to this country, but that we can try to come together in common cause to move an agenda forward for Hispanic Americans. And it has been a powerful force to do it, to not only exhibit some of the role models we have in our community, but to have us understand our commonality.